You said that you don't love me no more, and that you never...
Hey guys, I'm Mike Carleo, and this is my 4th installment of my Guitar for Dummies series. And today, I'm going to show you how to practice with the metronome correctly. Now, one of the most important tools to use in the practice room, whether beginner or advanced, for any musician, is the metronome. At first, it becomes very frustrating, but my exercises I'm going to show you in this installment is going to make this more of a tool rather than a burden. So, let's get started. There are 3 rules that I use to practice with the metronome more efficiently. And the first rule is to find a starting point on the metronome with whatever you're practicing where you can play it perfectly the first time. Now this acts as our foundation or floor to increase the speed of a scale or a lick that we want to get our chops better on. After you found your starting point, the second rule is to practice 3 times consecutively without mistakes. Now that means 3 times in a row. So if you practice twice without mistakes and on the 3rd time around you make a mistake, you want to start all the way over on where you are on the metronome. In order to increase the speed, your body needs to be able to get used to all of the slower tempos. So 3 times in a row is just enough time for your body to get comfortable with what you're doing. Once you've practiced 3 times consecutively without mistakes, the 3rd rule is to move up 1 or 2 clicks at a time, practicing the same thing in order to increase the speed. Now you don't want to move up too many clicks because it can be just a little too fast and then you can start practicing mistakes and that's going to set you back even further. So it's very important to be disciplined to only move up 1 or 2 clicks at a time. And this way, you'll be able to increase the speed at a fast rate. It seems slower now, but once you get used to this organizational skills of the first 3 rules, it's going to make anything that you want to learn faster, a lot easier. So let's use the picking exercise to use the 3 rules practicing with the metronome more efficiently. So I want to start out at a very slow tempo, and I found 60 beats per minute on the metronome. So I'm going to turn it on, and this is my starting point. I'm going to practice very slowly, staying exactly with the time. Every pick I'm going to do will get a click on the metronome. And so forth. So notice how every single pick has an equidistance in time because of the metronome. So it's important not to rush and not to slow down, but stay exactly with the metronome. And this is going to give us great time when we start playing with songs and we start doing our soloing. Let me turn that off real quick. So after you do the entire exercise perfectly 3 times in a row, then you can move it up 2 clicks. Or 1 click, it depends on how fast you want to do this. So I'll move it up 2 clicks because it's at a pretty slow tempo. And I'm going to do it again. And so forth. So I'm going to do this over and over and over again until I get to a really fast speed. You can also use these 3 rules practicing any chord progression or any song as well. So now I'm going to start with the same starting point on the metronome as I did with the picking exercise on this exercise. But first, what I want to do is I want to count up to 4 beats to lock into that tempo and to set my groove to make sure I don't rush or slow down and I stay exactly with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I also use the metronome to keep an equidistant time in between each chord and also in between each strum. So as you notice, this can help us with songs and learning how to do different types of hard transitions in order to get them faster. So this is a great tool to use as well. So using these 3 rules when practicing with the metronome will make this far less intimidating and far less frustrating. This will become more of a tool rather than a thing you chuck across the room when you get frustrated. Now you'll be able to develop chops and technique a lot faster and more efficiently, and your time will be developed a lot better as well when practicing with the metronome. It will force us to stay in time, and it will force us to become locked into that tempo. So if you want to get to know me more, you can check out my website below, michaelcarleo.com, for more information. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more updates and more videos. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.
The next day you're out of my life. You open up your eyes.